Hi YouTube. In our last video we said don't buy cars without doing your homework. Very sensible advice. So what are we doing buying 4 cars from auction 100 miles away as non-runners? And we didn't even look at them. It's a fine line between madness and genius. Let's go and look at the madness. We were talking earlier about what cars we bought last week, and we have them assembled here in a fantastic formation for you. And I wanted to share the first one, which is this i10. So you can see it's a 10 plate i10, and it's tidy. Come and have a look at it. It's tidy. It looks neat enough. It's done 85,000 miles or so, and it's got a fairly full history. Looks great. No problem at all. The reason that it was in the non-running section, a battery. A flat battery. Look at this. We've charged the battery. Come on, babes, come on. And that's it. Started, done. We've driven it. Think it's okay. I reckon that's a win. Our next one was this. This is an i20. So we were on a bit of a roll with Hyundais at this point, and this was definitely a problem. This was definitely a non-runner because the clutch had gone. And have a look at the clutch. Look at this. Look at this. I've worked in the trade quite a long time. I've never seen a split pressure plate like this. And that was the friction plate. Absolutely nothing on it whatsoever. So the Ginger Warrior changed it, and it's driving and running. And have a look. It's got 4 virtually brand new tyres on it. And it's nice. And not an engine management light to be seen so far. 122,000. I'll take that. And let's have a wander around it. You can see this is pretty straight. Not entirely convinced that the lacquer is going to be any good, but it's okay. This is a very tidy car for somebody just to drive to work with. This was the big problem though. This is a Toyota Auris. It's a 1.6 petrol, and it looks good. There's some marks on it, but it looks generally good. But this came in as a genuine non-runner, and we had a real problem with this because it wouldn't start. And it wasn't that it wouldn't start, it felt like it had no compression. It sounded like it had no compression. And occasionally it would splutter, but nothing much. And because it had no compression, what we did, we took the coils out, and we took the spark plugs out. The spark plugs are absolutely dripping in fuel. It was absolutely horrendous. And because sometimes excess fuel in the cylinders causes low compression, what we did, we put a little bit of oil, a little bit of engine oil down each of the holes of the spark plugs, and put the spark plugs back in and put the coils back on and cranked it over, and it came into life. And it ran for maybe a minute, and you can imagine there was horrendous smoke everywhere. It was absolutely horrendous. It was all blowing across the fields, but it was running. So we knew that it had at least a little bit of compression. And when we reread the codes, it was showing throttle body error. And what we decided to do is take the throttle body off. So this is the throttle body. It's very easy to take off. It's only 4 screws, so that's no problem. But when we started taking this pipe off, which is the main air intake pipe for the car, for the engine, it was full of air filter. And this is the air filter. And what had happened is that a rat had made its nest in the air filter, and it had chewed all this air filter out, and all that chewed up air filter had been put in this pipe, completely blocking it, absolutely completely blocking it. And we took that apart and we cleaned this out, and it was really horrible and really disgusting, and put it all back together, and this is what happened. Come and have a look at this. And I don't know whether the camera's picking that sound up, but that's the sound of an engine sweetly running. So the gamble on this was a 96,000 mile petrol, normally aspirated Toyota that wouldn't run. How badly wrong could it be? How badly wrong could it be? Had this been, for example, a BMW, we just wouldn't have bought it because the potential issues with the BMW were horrendous. But because it's a Toyota, we thought this is never going to be too much of a serious problem. That's why we bought it. Not bad. We didn't give a lot of money for this either. And this is the fourth one that we bought. And for all the world, I do not know why this was in the can't run, take it away pile. Because that's it. We've driven it for 2 hours. I really don't know what the problem was. So, yeah. Stick with me though. I'll tell you what it cost us, and you can tell me whether I'm an idiot or whether I'm a genius. I've got opinions on that. Okay, so what did it cost us? Let's have a look. So we bought one i10. The i10 had 85,000 miles on and is a 1.2. We bought one i20 that had 122,000 miles on and was a 1.4. We had to put a clutch in that. We bought a Auris. That was a 1.6 petrol, and that had 96,000 miles on. We bought a Yaris. That was a 1.4 diesel. They're sweet little engines, those 1.4s, they're really nice, and it had 122 on it. We scrapped a 1.6 Focus on an 06 plate for rust. In getting the cars to the yard, cost me, including the cars, cost me this much, plus £90 for a clutch. You tell me whether you think that was a good deal. I'll give you a clue. So there we have it. 4 cars, bought at auction, against all the rules. So if you want sleepless nights worrying about no compression on Toyota engines, or potentially CU failure, or split clutches on Hyundais, and worrying whether you've bought 4 piles of rubbish, that's the way to go. As we said right from the start, what could possibly go wrong? Anyway, for now, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.